Welcome to my presentation, everyone. Today's topic is how to choose a research topic. I am going to present on this specific topic and some relevant works to the research flow, because topic is the major portion. So before selecting topics, we have to do a lot of literature survey and lot of methodological issues we have to solve. So this is the outline of my presentation today. What is research? Steps of scientific research, because as it is a program of IEEE, I think majority students are from science and engineering background, and selection of research area, selection of research topic, then foundation of research and research horizon. So actually, what is research? Research, this word, if I just say research, that means you have to keep searching for new knowledges, new ideas, seek answer to the questions. Questions means what, why, and how, especially why and how. If you find out why, the answer of why, you get some idea from there. And the main purpose of the research is to enhance knowledge through questioning. Now, if we go for initial ideas, basic research and applied research, there are two types of research. Basic research is very much fundamental, general understanding and general. For example, the relativity theory, this is a basic research. And applied research actually comes from the needs. What I need, I have to design. How I will design, this depends on me. So applied research actually derives from practical needs. Example is like the invention of computers and application of computers. So which one is easier? Applied research or basic research? There is a question. Basic research is very much difficult. From the example, you can understand the relativity theory. It is type of basic research. And from the outcome of the research, other must learn something new. At least that does not exist in the current literature. We have to discover something like that. So there, after that comes the types of research. There are three types of research: descriptive research, correlational research, and experimental research. If we go for the descriptive research allows us to know about the everything. In general, you can say the complex behavior or something. It provides relatively detailed picture on a certain topic, but the limitation is that limited to providing static picture, because it cannot say that from the descriptive, like from reading, we cannot gather something dynamic. To generate something dynamic, you have to do something by yourself. Cannot answer how a certain behavior development, what impacts the behavior has. Like for an example, cannot answer a certain behavior, how it develops. We cannot answer from the descriptive research, but we can know at least that these things are happening. Then correlational research is more advanced than descriptive research, and there are some logics. We can say the cause, and there are two words, cause and effect. So at least we can know about the causes. Cannot be identified causal relationship among the variables. Remains positively that some other variables caused by observing the variables are correlated. That means correlation means if X varies, Y will vary. So if X increases and Y also increases, we can say this is positively correlated. At least we can measure that if X varies, then X increases, then Y will increase. And if X increase and Y decrease, then this is negative correlation. And from the experimental result, we can find out the exact values, the true values. Now we come to the research steps of scientific research, like selection of area. This is the first step. Selection of area, then selection of topic. Now I discussed about the selection of area. As I am from IEEE background, I say from my perspectives that most of the times students select their research topic in the 10th semester or 9th, at the end of 9th, right? So you already know that there are 3 divisions in EEE or electrical engineering, that is power, electronics and communication. So from your experience, you should understand that where you want to work, either power system or communication or electronic device. This is the selection of area. I will discuss in detail how to choose this area. Then you go to the topic. It will narrow down from area to topic. Then you have to form the research question. Here I show you the literature review is the most important part of a research, because from the literature, where will you get the questions? From the literature review. If you find the answer there, there is a question you get from one literature, and then you find another literature which already answers that question. So no need to study on that question again, because this is not an issue to solve or a problem that you need to solve. This is already solved. So if there is no answer, what we should do? Refine research questions. That means if you don't find the answer, that is the problem statement or research gap for you. You need to solve that one, right? So from that question, you need to go through the literature again. Because why? If you go through the literature initially, and when you are finishing your work, say the time frame is 8 months or 1 year, by that time, already someone has solved that problem more efficiently than you. So then this is not again a question, research question for you. So to understand this, we have to go through some more steps, the research hypothesis, goals and objectives. When you find your question, that means there are 2 words, research problem and research question and research gap, 3 words. So gaps is actually from the literature. What you find here is literature. From the literature is your research question. So now from the question, you need to develop the hypothesis. Like if I say the resistivity of conductor decreases or increases with the temperature, someone will say increase, someone will say decrease, right? This is hypothesis, that how you define your problem. Okay. So from the hypothesis, you need to select the goals and objectives. There are goals. To achieve one goal, you need to divide into few objectives. Depending on your objectives, I will show you in detail with the examples every step. So depending on the objective, you have to design your study. While designing your study, you have to focus on your limitations first, that what you cannot do. Then there are some ethical issues, like you cannot replicate another research. You can take the general basic formulas, but not exactly their values, especially the results. So this is on the individuals who are going to conduct or start the research. This, if any ethical issues arises, for this you have to suffer from the very beginning. So about ethical issues, you have to be very careful. Then after studies, design, population and sampling, then variables. Here again, bias. You cannot be biased, like manipulating of data, because if you don't consider your real data, then 3 times you plot a graph, your graphs will be 3 different types. So you will be confused, right? So these 2 things you cannot do. What? Biasing and negative, like ethical issues, you should to consider. Then after that, depending on your design, you have to choose your research tools. Like either you want to design this one in a software, or you want to go for hardware. If you have the facility, you can go for hardware. Otherwise, you have to rely on software. Then you have to, every time you have to do a pilot study. Pilot study means what you have designed, you have to just test, trial and error basis, that your plan is working or not. If okay, then you have to plan again how to collect data. Then data management, this is very important. Collection of data. Then after data management, if you know the difference between data and information, like information which is necessary for me is information. and data is like open. One data can be information for you, me, but cannot be information for you. So this data management is very important. Then interpretation. After data management, interpretation, then reporting. This is how a research work will go on. So first of all, come to the researcher selection of research area. Here researchers means both sides, student and supervisor. It depends on especially the supervisor's specialty, interest, and scientific background and experience. These are the points you need to consider. Like for example, I give you one example. For example, I work on solid state device design. If someone want to work with me on power system, from the ethical point of view, first of all, I should not accept. Or from the student's perspective, if he want to come to study on power system, he should not come to me. This is the ethical issue, right? Because then after selecting supervisor, before selecting supervisor, we have to go for two things: actual need for the research in this area, whether I need to do research on this topic or not. For this, you need extensive literature review and available resources. Depending on available resources, you have to focus on your research. For example, if I want to say that I want to design a laser in Bangladesh, I cannot. So I have to rely on simulation or mathematical modeling. Okay. Then come to the selection of research topic. This is the priority of topic of research depends on the characteristics of the problem, belongs to the magnitude of the and seriousness. Then available alternatives and proposed solution. If there are available alternatives and proposed already some solution has been proposed, it is better not to work with these topics. But if the seriousness and the magnitude is high, then you can choose the topic. Then when you have selected your topics, then you have to go through that topic elaborately. So you have to make further study. So then these are the factors to be considered. Feasibility. Again, I say that if I want to design a solid state device, this is not feasible from Bangladesh. So you cannot design. Cost effectiveness. Applicability of research. That means your research maybe cannot, like, you cannot design, maybe you cannot design the prototype or the device, but you can propose the ideas. That means it can be applicable for further research anywhere in the world, because now research is open. Then the major impact, the social and environmental and economical impact. Like if you design an existing thing with higher cost, but more efficient, so general people will not accept initially. Now it comes to the point where you want to do research. Your research should have high potential impact, then your passion, then your strength. When you find something that belongs to all these 3 points, like you are selecting some topic which is very highly potential topic, but you have not you have no interest or you have no passion, so you cannot select that topic. So you have to select the topic considering these 3 factors. So first it comes your strength, because if you see that I told that from the when you are entering at the 10th semester, you already know which field you are strong, like power system, electronics, or communication. So suppose you are strong in electronics, so your passion will automatically go to electronic field, right? Then in electronics, then your field has been already narrowed down to electronics. Now you have to find out something which has very high impact in electronics field. Now, how to formulate the research questions? The investigator must make sure that he has a research question. First criteria of doing research is to have a research question. That means at least how it is happening, or why it is happening, if any cause, why it is happening. First question, why? Then how? Then the question is clear and specific. You cannot say open question. It should be specific. and it reflects the objective of the study. The major points, it should have no answer by common sense. That means I'm writing a research problem or research question and the answer is known to everyone. Then it has no answer in literature. Finding all the answer to the question will solve or at least help to solve the problem to be investigated. Your solution maybe cannot solve that problem, but at least can help to solve that problem partially. This will be also a very good outcome from your research. Then how you will get these things, that which one has answer, which question have no answer still, it is from the literature. A literature review can be done from a survey, scientific articles, books, journals, dissertations, and lot of relevant sources, but it should be on some particular issues, on particular theory. So now comes to the literature review. How actually it reveals. Literature review, if you don't have any topic in the literature, so where will you go? It will be in a disorganized way. Sometimes you feel I am good in electronics, so go to electronics. Sometimes you feel you are good in power system, so you go to power system. No, you have to choose from the very beginning. So how will you choose it? Literature review should be systematic. From the literature review, what you want to find out? Place each work in the context of its contribution to the understanding of the subject under review. That means you have to focus on the contribution of a literature. When you read one paper, you should focus on the contribution of that paper, describe the relationship of each work and other under considerations. That means similar type of work, but where it differs. Then identify the new ways to interpret on the research gaps, and from the experience you will gather it as much literature as you read, or as you go through as much literature as possible, then you will gather these type of knowledges. Then resolve conflicts. For example, this issue, maybe one problem, then you find 10 or hundreds of literature, the 10 ways they are solving the problems in the 10 ways, but every solution has one specific problem that cannot be solved by another. So gathering these conflicting issues, you can raise one research question, one research gap, one research problem. One conflict, resolving one conflict can be your contribution. Then identify research prior to the prevent duplicacy or effort. So this is another one that you just collect the information from the literature. Don't make it duplicate, the similar to 100% similar to others. And always place and once you should respect one's original work. So this is at a glance. First of all, you should list down which are the fields and relevant fields. Then you have to search, because if you search first, you will be entangled, right? You should list down that which field. So if you say, okay, solid state device design, optoelectronics, so list down 4 devices: LED, laser, photodetector, solar cell. Then you choose one, then search. After searching, then you learn first, then write. Like this is the component of literature review. As I say, problem formulation. Problem formulation is the major point you need to focus on. Then how will you formulate this problem? From the literature search, finding the materials relevant to the subject being explored. That means in the literature you will find what has already been explored, but there exists some limitations. Then data evaluation. In every literature you will find this section, data evaluation. The authors have done it very clearly, analysis and interpretation. From their analysis, my interpretation may be different. So this will be my contribution. Now, this is the summary that how you will play with the literature. It is, although the topic is like a working with the literature, it's rather than like a play with the literature. First of all, you have to find it. What will you find from a literature? Knowing the literature type. Here type belongs to for the scientific researchers, there are three types. One is review, one is experimental publications, and one is mathematical modeling. So you have to clarify. You can make three folders for the three different categories. From the literature review papers, you will get a lot of information. From the mathematical modeling and experimental papers, you will get the methodology. And the data provided in the experimental papers is more reliable than the simulation based papers. Then sharpen your search skill. As the time will be passing on, then it will automatically be improved. Your skill of finding out, you can use Google Scholar, you can use ResearchGate, you can use JGate. Then manage it. Finding out and then managing is different. Manage, how will you manage it? You have to keep tracking. As I told you that you can make three different folders, but you have to, on that folder, you can make year wise, like literature review, review papers 2020, review 21, 2019, 2018. It is preferred to use the literature from the last maximum 10 years. Then how to use it? Choosing your research topic, developing your questions. From that one literature, you can find these things. Arguing your relationship. This is your contribution. Because as I told you, 10 papers will present different ideas, same idea in 10 different ways, but you have to make an argument, aligning your work with the theory. You cannot do anything excepting that does not go with the theory. If you can do that, this will be basic research. Designing method. Confirming everything, you have to design your own methods. Then reviewing. This is the most important part of your literature survey. Because after doing everything, you have to review whether I'm right or wrong. How will you review? Maybe your group consists very experienced researcher, or when you submit one publication to the very reputed journal, then the reviewers will give you feedback. Is understanding its reviews purpose, then ensuring the adequate coverage. Writing purposely, that means you cannot write anything on the topic, you have to be very specific. Then working on the style and tone, this is important. The source of literature, the most important source of literature is journal articles. There are a lot of types, I will discuss one by one. Journal is the best source because it consists up-to-date information, and very well reputed journal, maybe IEEE, I prefer. There are non-referred journals. Among journals, there are non-referred journals. A lot of trade journals and magazines, but there may be some significant points. You just go through and decide whether you should keep it in your database or not. Book actually, book is very informative but less up to date, because to publish and update one book, it takes a few years. They're still likely to be useful for including your literature review as a theory, offer a good strategic starting point, because book is very organized and every topic is explained in the book. So it can be a very good source of starting your research. Conference papers actually brings the current state of art, because when the conference is published, when you are in a very big project, some small parts are published, so you can keep track what is actually happening around the world. You can go for networking or what is happening around the world. You can know very easily through the conference because it is published very fast. It is very helpful for tracking down others' work in your field. Source of literature, this is very good, the government and corporate reports, because these data are very reliable and you cannot violate. If it is published in a government or corporate reports, you cannot deny although your experiment result is different, you have to go for argue, but you cannot deny. So these data are very. Then comes to the dissertation. Dissertation, I always say about the dissertation, because the methodology chapter is very easily explained in the dissertation. In papers, journals, even you will get one paragraph on methodology. But if your research is aligned with some specific topics, then you can go through that dissertation. But it is better to go through the PhD dissertation, then masters, and then undergraduation, because undergraduation dissertation, in PhD dissertation especially, you will find something novel. Then internet is the fastest and easiest way, but on the internet you cannot accept all the data, because especially Wikipedia, it is editable. So for primary analysis, you can choose that data, you can use that data, but before tuning, you need to find out from original sources like IEEE and IIT publications. So where you will give the considerations for finding out one good paper: origin, whether the work is author's original work or not. Then from the objective of the paper and the significance of the author's covering, significance of the work and the value. Actually, the value means the contribution, the significance, and the value. These two things you need to go through. If the contribution seems very interesting to you, you can choose, you can start your research from there. Then if you see, selecting papers digitally and logic, we know that all the inputs should be one, right? So looks for the articles that include all the search items or keyword. You should keep it. Look for the articles that include any of the search items. Any of the search items. Then you also should keep it. Exclude articles that specifically don't belong to your research field. Then after doing these things, you will get the literature in your way. When you are on the track, then you have to go through the literature again on your specific field. So from one literature, so let us say just one journal paper, which information you can get from which part of that article? There are 5 main components: introduction, body, result and discussion, and conclusion and drawbacks. Actually, drawbacks the authors don't focus. You have to understand from your reading. But some journals, they specifically mention their drawbacks or future works. This is actually termed as future work in that publication. From the introduction, what you will get? Definition and identification of the general topic, current issues, areas of concern, that providing an appropriate context of the reviewing the literature. Then point out all the trends, that means the state of art, you will get in the information section. Then here you will find a lot of people's contribution in 1 or 2 paragraph. You will find from one literature survey, introduction of one paper, information from the body. This is actually, the body is referred as methodology or mathematical calculation. Group research studies over the type of literature. If it is review, it will be theoretical. If it is case study, it will also be theoretical. But if it may be qualitative and quantitative. If it is scientific paper, more towards it is quantitative. And conclusion, from the conclusion of the author, you will get their contribution and specific purpose of the objective and the objective of the paper. From the conclusion, you can draw it. From the results, what you will find? Findings of the individual studies of that specific study from the result. But from the introduction, you will get other people's result, comparison with other studies, analysis of the findings, positive side of the paper. I mark it red because why? This positive side will not enhance my research formulation. Significance of the paper. Information from the conclusion. Major contribution and significance, evaluation, these things you will get from the conclusion. Then the foundation of research and explanation of the fundamental research, like, and justification of your work. This is the foundation of your what you have done or what you will do. You have to justify later. If you say I have done, so you have to justify. Actually, this is from my experience. Use the effective search strategies. Collect reliable sources. Although journals like IEEE, IET, these are preferred, don't write literature review. You just read one paper and start writing. No, point out everything you read. Write the summary with the positive and the negative finding. Here the negative is green because these negative points are the research questions for me. Formulation research gap from the negative findings. Now I say that all the gaps and the are not problem. Find out which you believe that you can solve. If you believe that this problem I can solve, then this is a problem for you. Research problem. Fix your problem statement and ask question. That means once you've set 2 or 3 research problems, you have to now find out some more questions relevant to those 2 questions. Now there are some confusions between goals, objectives. I will clarify these things. Aim, goal, and objectives. To achieve one aim, you have to go through some goals. To achieve each goal, you have to go through some objectives. For example, when we used to study in school, we always write one essay, right? Aim in life. So here, if you want to be an engineer, what you have to do? This is your aim. So what is the goal to achieve this aim? There should be 2 or 3 goals that I will focus on my mathematics and physics, chemistry, especially, right? This is your goal. That the aim is to be an engineer. So your goal is to focus on physics, chemistry, mathematics. To do so, what you have to do? This is the objective. You have to choose science from SSC and HSC both. This is your objective. So to accommodate with one aim, you have to go through few goals. For each goal, you have to go through some objectives. So now I will discuss in terms of research. Research goal and objective. The goal, say one goal is like one aim. It can also be. And the objective must be stated at the very beginning of the study. And you have to focus on that one. Since they will actually the aim, once the aim is set, it will guide you how to proceed. They will also help you in prioritizing the process. Prioritizing the process means which one you have to give priority first. Then they will enable the readers to consume or the work to judge whether the investigator have achieved these objectives or not. This is the last step. You have to set your goal, you have to set your objective, and you have to achieve it. This is the research. Obviously, with the support of the research team, maybe your supervisor and your senior friends. Then goal, it describes the aim of the work in a broad term. Objectives are there are 2 types of objective: primary objective, secondary objective. The primary objective must be achieved. And there are some objectives which you can sometimes overlook in broader aspects. That is the secondary objective. Every research has at least 1 to 3 primary objectives. And if you have 5 objectives, maybe 2 should be primary. If you have 3, at least one should be primary. Like research objectives. Research objectives should be closely related to your research question. Covering all aspects of the problem, very specific, should be very specific. Ordered in logical sequence. That stated in the action verb, that should be evaluated, like to describe, to identify, to measure, to compare, etc. That what you can do, achievable, taking into the consideration the available resources and the time. This is very important. You have to select your topic, you have to select your field, considering the resource what you have and the time limit. So I say the objective should be SMART. If you go through this, one is specific, M is measurable, A is achievable, R is relevant, is time bound. Suppose you for undergraduation you select some topic which will take more than 2 years. So you should not select that topic. You should select this topic for your master study. Or if you say, oh, this will take 5 years, so you should go for your PhD for with this topic. But if you can start from your undergraduation, then you should cut down your goal to be time bound. Then objectives. Objectives should be properly formulated. Specific objectives will facilitate and develop your research. Methodology and the collection of data analysis and interpretation of data will help you on the way automatically. If you are right until the methodology, I repeat it, if you are right until the methodology, then you are free to collect data, interpret, because the methodology will guide you directly. Then research hypothesis. Actually, the research hypothesis, the question is a measurable form. Like if temperature increase, resistance will increase. This is true, right, for conductor. But if I say is it true for semiconductor? No. So this is the hypothesis. How you set the hypothesis? Hypothesis can be set through your experience, through your supervisor's experience, if I say specifically, through your literature review, own ideas. Okay? It depends on the independent variable and the dependent variable. Hypothesis is another word. Translate the problem statement into practice. It must be emphasized that the hypotheses are not meant to be haphazard guesses. That I guess this is not hypothesis. So you have to be ordered logically, and you have to set it through your literature review. But if you say that the sky is cloudy, it may rain, it is also a hypothesis. It is raining, so your hypothesis is valid. But humidity is almost 87%, but it is not raining, so your hypothesis will not be right. So from the derivation of the hypothesis, you have to set to derive the hypothesis, you have to read a lot. Like if I say one example, like solid state device design is an area of research. So now you need to choose performance improvement of quantum dot based laser using indium nitride. This is the topic. Now goal to improve the overall performance of the laser is the goal. So to achieve this goal, I have to set 3 objectives: to reduce the internal loss, to enhance the gain or amplification, to improve the efficiency. Out of 3, the improve the efficiency is the primary objective. It should be achieved anyhow. Otherwise, the performance, overall performance will not be improved. So to achieve this primary objective, we have set 2 secondary objectives: to reduce the internal loss, to enhance the gain or amplification. So this is one quotation what I would like to share with you from Albert Einstein. If we know what we are doing, it won't be called a research. So now it comes to the research horizon. When you have started your research work, or maybe till the end of your career, never define your success. If you already define that I have to achieve until this level, okay, I am satisfied, then from that point your research will not be in progress. Stick to one topic for whole career. This is one very important point. Even if the technology appears to leave you behind, stand by your problem. Let the complexity be your guide. One system, for example, if I want to design a system which is very complex, so if you deny it, then you have no scope to go for the research. So you go through that complexity, it will guide you. Ready to be proven wrong. This is the very important point. If you can accept that your result is wrong, then you have the ways to improve. Don't be distracted by others, that oh, this field, it is not important for you, but you have to stick on your field. You can go through different branches, like as I told you, the design of laser application in optical fiber communication. But you cannot be distracted too much. avoid payoffs as less than 20 years. It may be 10 years, 15 years. Like you have done something, your paper has been accepted, so you cannot say, oh, this is very impactful research in my field. No, you have to wait to get the feedbacks. So this is from my part. Then you can ask if you have any questions.
The participants, our question and answer session one. If you have any question, you can write the chat box.
Good evening, sir. This is Apurva. I'm requested you to give us a copy or example of a research paper that will helpful us for related discussion and understanding research process. Thank you.
Okay. Just I take few minutes. I'm just going through one of my very recent publications which is under review. Then I can show you that actually what we need to do. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Like effect of optical fiber diameter on Brillouin scattering loss. This is the outcome of my thesis students. I think if you, from Stern University. His name is Nahid Hassan, 15 batch 15. So this is the example. Like from the introduction, if you go through, what you will find, what the earlier researchers have done, right? Because here the topic is effect of optical fiber diameter, that means diameter of optical fiber on Brillouin scattering loss. So Brillouin scattering loss is a type of loss. There are two types of losses. One is Raman scattering and one is Brillouin scattering. There are nonlinear losses. Okay, so introduction chapter, actually this section deals with detailed discussion on the Brillouin scattering loss and what other researchers have done on this topic. Okay, so this figure in general, like that is chromatic, different type of dispersions and losses. Then here comes the mathematical modeling. Then we in the chapter introduction part, we discuss about what other researchers have found out. Okay, from here you can see, therefore most of the recent works of light sources and detectors have been constructed semiconductor optical sources and detectors of group 3 nitride 5. 3 to 5 compounds in active layer have been studied extensively and used almost exclusively for the present light wave communication system in these wavelength regions. Efforts have been made to enhance the laser, and so these are the reference numbers who deals with these things, 6, 11 to 13, that means 4 literature. However, the loss due to Brillouin scattering loss increases at a rate of 2 with the increasing wavelength. Future generation of optical fiber light sources and detectors may be well operating a still longer wavelength. Okay, so what I have done here, you see, it has been reported that to reduce stimulated Brillouin scattering loss of optical fiber communication are applied widely. Conversely, so this is the point I have to work on. To utilize the enormous potential and prospect to take account the consideration for optical fiber communication system that offers minimum loss over an enormous potential bandwidth still required to investigate it effectively. Okay, so what I have done, actually a lot of studies have been done on wavelength and operating frequencies on the losses. So when I go through the lot of literature, I found that the optical effect of optical fiber diameter has not been studied yet. So this is the research problem, okay? This is the process, the methodology I told you, the mathematical equations they will show in numerical results. In this section, they will find here is my results. As an author, this is my result. In the introduction section, I discussed about other authors' results, and this is my methodology and this is my result. Okay. So you will find the significance of my paper from this section and discussion analysis, and this is the tabular form. Step index fiber have the lower attenuation and losses 3.172 for 0.89, and for same value multimode step index fiber have 23. Okay, 23.23 to 37.5. So from my outcome, from my research outcome, I found out that what if we use step index plastic fiber instead of multimode graded index or multimode step index or graded index plastic fiber, the losses will be minimized. At least I cannot design the plastic step index fiber, but I can propose to the scientific community to work with this one instead of silica fiber. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, so any more questions?